Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a fantastic day so far. If you are new here, then hello, my name is Millie. I post videos 3 times a week and it is always testing out new makeup, doing swatches, doing reviews. It's always cruelty free and it's always affordable, so I'd love it if that's the sort of thing that you're into. I'd love it if you would subscribe down below, and that is exactly what we're getting into today. I've got a box of goodies from W7. They launched a new eyeshadow palette and then like a couple of days later they launched a new like base collection. So they have a primer, a foundation and a setting spray, and I'm going to be getting into all of them today. I can't actually do a wear test today because it's already like 7:30 in the evening, but we're going to be giving it a first impression. I'll give you my first thoughts, what I think of all of the products, and let's just dive on into it, shall we? Obviously, I already have eyeshadow primer on and brows, so I'm going to start with the eyes because there may be some fallout and I don't actually know what sort of look I'm going for today. So let's just get into the box and I'll get into the new eyeshadow palette. So like I say, this is the new eyeshadow palette from them. It's the Influence Pressed Pigment palette, and this looks absolutely incredible. The textures of some of these eyeshadows look absolutely incredible. Like, try and do this with one hand. This one here has like a line down it and it looks like it's like one that you can like mix together, and it's maybe, I don't really know, I don't know what to expect from it. The glitters look beautiful. It's so like rich and deep. It looks absolutely incredible, and I love these, like obviously like the orangey tones and stuff are beautiful on blue eyes, but I also love like purpley tones and these just look incredible. Then the base products that I got, this is the Snow Flawless collection. So it comes with a Miracle Moisture Priming Putty. So this is like, I assume it's meant to be a dupe for the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer, but this is like a moisturising one, which I prefer as a gal with dry skin. I like having the added skincare benefits. It does just look the same as like the e.l.f. one, so I'm very interested to get into that. Then the foundation also says Miracle Moisture Foundation. I got this in the shade Buff. I will say they only had 5 shades. When I bought these on the website, they only had 5 shades, and genuinely, even as pale as I am, I feel like I could have gotten away with every shade, which is a little bit worrying. Hopefully they will come out with more shades. Like 5 shades of a foundation really is not acceptable. However, I have a foundation from W7 already that's in the shade Buff and it is my perfect shade, so I am excited to try this one out. And I also got the Miracle Moisture Fixer spray. Like I say, I can't do an actual wear test today, but I will be trying all of these out and seeing what the spray is like, seeing if it upsets my face at all. But I'm going to start with the eyes. I am going to do some swatches and we will see what all of these textures look like because I'm so excited. Oh, I've just noticed 2 of these shades are like cream. That is really interesting. The top corner and the bottom corner, they are cream shadows. That's really interesting. I'm so excited. Right, let's just do some swatches, shall we? Okay, so going across the top row here, we have Impact, which was that cream one, and that's a black. Oh, that's quite sheer. It's like sticky though. I wonder if that's meant to be like an eye primer. Then we have Beautiful, which is like a lighter peachy sort of shade. That would work as like a transition on my skin tone. Then we have Money, and this one is glittery and that almost feels like a topper. It doesn't feel like a regular shimmer. I will just see if those first 2 will build up at all. A little bit. That black shade is really like confusing me. Like, why is there a black base? Because that's almost how it feels. In fact, shall we read? Does it say on the back of this what it is? Okay, I'm confused. It says on the back that some of the shades are not intended for the immediate eye area, which is like fairly standard for an eyeshadow palette. Then on the ingredients, it doesn't actually have the ingredients listed for shade number 1 and shade number 18. All of the other ones are listed, and I don't know, like, why does it not say? Oh, there is a little arrow. Let me continue my research here. Okay, so there was a little sticker, and then the ingredients for 1 and 18 are listed underneath. That's weird though, like, because now this isn't going to go back on, is it? And I'm just going to end up throwing this away. Either way, that does still feel tacky on the back of my hand. So I wonder if, like, you can put some of these other shades over the top of the black. It's not what we're going to be doing today, but I'm wondering if that's maybe what you can do with it. Let me just rattle through the rest of these swatches. So we have Sway, Fame, and Clout. Ooh, yeah, so you can see the difference between, like, Fame and Money, where Fame just feels like a regular topper. Fame feels like a regular shimmer shade, and Money looks more like a topper, like it's much more sheer. I do like them though, very, very pretty shimmers. Then we have Duty, and then this is that one that I said it looked like it had like a stripe through it. This is called Supremacy, and this is almost like a cream. I'll be interested to see how that one sets down. It's very, very pigmented, looks very, very smooth, but it has like a Vaseline-y petroleum jelly sort of texture, so I'd be interested to see how that like sets down as I do the rest of the swatches. Then next up is Proud. Ooh, that's nice and pigmented. Then we have Leader, which is a lot more pigmented than I was expecting it to be. That's a beautiful, like, coppery, shimmery shade. Then we have Be You, which is another matte. And then Inspire, which is another matte. So, like, the colour story is definitely getting warmer as we are going through. That shimmer shade is absolutely incredible. That's like a foil. That's so pretty. Then onto the bottom row. This one is called Empower, and again that one is a matte. Then it's Heyday, which is a matte as well. Then we have Ambitious, and this one, when I like swatch that on my finger, that's like a black and purple duochrome. I hope that that's showing up on camera. Yes, I think it is. Can you see where it's like catching the light and it's like turning purple? That's such a pretty shade. And then the last three, we have Rule, which looked like marbled in the pan. That's really, really pretty. Then we have Stardom, which is another like creamy feeling sort of foiled texture. Really, really nice. And then the last one, which is like another, like the first one. Is that just exactly the same as the first one? Is this meant to be different somehow? That looks exactly the same to me. Feels exactly the same on the finger as well. It's like creamy and sticky, but in quite a strange way. I don't know. Okay, so this is what all of those colours look like swatched out. The shimmers look incredible, and this was the one that, like I said, had the like line through it where it was almost like Vaseline-y down the centre. And I do feel like that has somewhat set down. I do feel like that would eventually set down, but the first one and the last one, they are still very much tacky, like completely just coming off on my finger. I don't know how I would use that finish for myself, and like that one and that one are exactly the same, so why is there two that are exactly the same in the same palette? I don't know, but either way, let's zoom you in and we can do some sort of an eye look. So I think I want to do something that's just like warm and more of the oranges rather than the purples, so I'm going to go in with a big fluffy brush into the shade Proud, which was a matte orangey shade, and I will just start working this through the crease a little bit, start warming everything up, and then obviously I'm going to go in with one of those incredible shimmers, but which one I do not know just yet. I'm going to take a slightly smaller brush and I'm going to dip into Empower, which is just a little step darker, and I will keep this more on the outer corner and like keep it more on the lid as well. We can go a little bit smoky today. Like I say, it is late-ish. It's the end of the day. I'm not going anywhere, so I can go a little bit smoky. I can test this out properly. So I feel like that's like built up really nicely on like the outer half of the lid, blended in with that other one. I do think I want to go in with something a little bit more purpley. I'll stick with this same brush and I'll go in very, very lightly into this matte one on the top row called Sway, and I will just keep that right on the outer corner of the lid, and I'm almost just like stamping this so that it doesn't blend out too far. Don't want this to turn purple, just want a little bit of depth out there. I'm going to dip back in with that first brush and I will go into Inspire, this one, because it just looked a little bit brighter, and I will pop that through. Yeah, that's so much brighter. Pop that like over the top of that crease colour to make it really orange. I love an orange eye look. I feel like I've done so many of them recently, you're probably bored of seeing them, but I just love it at the minute. Just let me have my orange moment. Okay, so I feel like that's all blending together really nicely. I've got that like deep darkness on the outside of the lid, but it's still like bright across the middle of the lid, and that's where I'm going to go in with a shimmer, and I do not know which one to use. I think I'm going to go in with this one here called Fame, because that's like the brightest, and I think that right across the like center part of the lid there will look incredible. So I'm just going to tap. See, the shimmers in these palettes are so incredible. I'm just going to tap this over that like center part of the lid there. Quite difficult to do because my nails are getting a little bit long, but we'll make it work. I'm just blending out that top edge with a clean brush, and then I think just a tiny little bit more of that Inspire shade, that like warmest orange, just there to blend that glitter into where we already have the colour on the outer corner. And I think I'm happy with that. That glitter has gone further than I wanted it to, but I'm not mad about that. I love glitter. So I'm just going to take a cotton pad with some micellar water on, clean up where that glitter got like here, and also sharpen up on the outer edge, and then I will move on to those new base products because I'm very excited about the primer. Yeah, that feels better. So I'm just going to go straight into the primer. So like I said, this is the Snow Flawless Miracle Moisture Putty Primer. Does it say how I'm meant to apply this? It does not. So I'm just gonna do it like this. It feels the same as the e.l.f. one. It does feel very, very similar. Sort of has the same sort of texture where it's balmy, obviously. Am I stating the obvious there? Probably. So I'm just going to like warm this up and then press it into my whole face. Like with the e.l.f. one, I do just sort of keep it where my pores are, like down the centre. But with this saying that it's hydrating, do I put this all over? I do feel like in my far away mirror, I do feel like this is smoothing somewhat. So I've got high hopes. Okay, so that is all like blended out right over my face. I do feel like it's really nice and hydrating. My skin does feel really, really lovely, and it does have the tiniest little bit of attack to it. Not in, I mean, I don't have the e.l.f. Power Grip whatever one, the one in the pumpy bottle. I don't have that one, but it doesn't feel like as sticky as I expect that one does. It does just have like a very slight little tack to it, which is obviously going to help like grip your makeup on. So I will go in now with the foundation. Like I say, this is in the shade Buff. I do believe that this was the lightest shade. So I will, obviously I've got all of these swatches on the back of my hand. I'll put it on my palm. Very liquidy. Much more liquidy than the other one from W7 that I have tried. I'm going to use a sponge because that's just my preference. Let's see how much pigment we get from this. It looks quite pigmented, looks like a good colour. Okay, this foundation looks lovely. It's so like naturally glowy. Like I feel like it just looks like my skin. You can still see, or I can still see in real life, you can still see my freckles. The redness is like still there a little bit, but it just looks really nice and natural. I wonder if like over the top of that primer, with that being a little bit more like a glowy hydrating sort of a primer, I wonder what this would look like on bare skin. With the primer, I feel like it looks really pretty. It's really glowy, but it's really soft. I would say that this is like a light to medium coverage. I don't feel like you could necessarily build it up because of that like lightweight texture. I don't think it says anything about building it up. All it says is snow mushroom extract, snow flawless foundation. Yeah, I don't know if I would necessarily build this up. I feel like I'm completely happy with how this looks. So I'm going to go off and do the rest of my base, and then we'll come back and do that setting spray because I'm interested to see if that has any sort of scent to it. I am not good with scent, so I'm interested to see how that goes. Let me do the rest of my face and then we'll come back for that one. Okay, so I've finished up the rest of the base, and I think what I want to do is add like a smoky wing. So I've got a little liner brush, like a very small angled brush, and I'm going to dip into Sway, that one that I put on the outer corner. I'm just going to add a little wing just with that, obviously quite gently now that I have the rest of my base on. So I feel like that just adds a really nice little bit of definition out on the outer corner, and then I will go in with a brush. I'm like thinking whilst I'm talking like out loud, going in with more of a dense brush, and I'm going to just put Inspire all the way along the lower lash line so it sort of matches what I've got on the top. And I think I'm just going to leave it as that one shade under the eyes. I feel like that looks really nice. Like, it's the same but a little bit different. So I'm going to try out this setting spray now after I've gotten into this packaging. So I'll just give this a little shake and let's see. Oh, if I can get the cap off. Oh, that's quite a spitty setting spray. It doesn't seem to have any scent to it, so before I do the mascara, let's just see how this goes. Ooh. I don't like this setting spray. Gosh, I don't think my arms are long enough to... That is such an aggressive spray. Oh my goodness, I'm soaked. Oh. Okay, so it does dry down nicely. I did need the use of a hand fan to like dry that off. That is the most aggressive spray, like the actual like spray. You know what I mean. It's a very, very spitty spray. I do feel like it feels lovely on the skin. It feels really, really nice and hydrating. Let me look up close. Probably should have checked that everything was blended before I just put a setting spray on over the top, because that bronzer on my nose is looking a little questionable. Yeah, we're just gonna have to deal with that. It's fine. It doesn't look bad. It's a very aggressive spray, but it doesn't look bad. It's not glittery. It had no scent to it. It hasn't made me sneeze. So I feel like, will I use this again? What I will probably do with this is, once I have an empty bottle of the e.l.f. one, because this is such a nice fine mist that this is just not going to work for me. So once one of these is empty, I'll put this into this bottle. I feel like that's the only way that I would use it, really, because currently that spittiness on my face is not desirable. I'm going to just do mascara. I'm using the Lottie London Super Fake mascara. Let's build a bit of this up and then we'll be done. Okay, so I'm just putting on a little bit of lip liner. This is the Essence 8 Hour Comfort Matte Lip Liner in 03 Soft Beige, because I also picked up another shade of the lip oil. So this is the Thick Drip Lip Oil, and this is in the shade Foolish. I already had the shade Too Much, this one here, and I've picked up another one because I'm putting together like a few bits for a giveaway when I get to 1,000 subscribers. Spoiler alert. So I want to see what this shade is like. This one has like little glitters in it, so I'm very excited to see how this looks on the lips. Oh, that's so pretty. That's really soft. Like, the glitter in it doesn't look too glittery, it just looks really nice and reflective, and that colour's really soft as well. I like it. So, first impressions of everything. The eyeshadow palette, although some of the finishes are a little bit weird, I feel like we've got a really nice eye look out of it, and I feel like there's options. Like, there's more like purpley tones. I'm very interested in this black one that's got that like purple reflect to it. I feel like for something that's quite smoky, like you could definitely go very dark and very smoky with this. I feel like there's a lot of options and I'm very excited to keep playing with it. So excited to try out some of the different colours. The primer, I feel like that was really, really nice. If you have dry skin, I feel like you would really, really like this, more so than the e.l.f. one. I feel like this is more hydrating, it's more smoothing on my skin, I felt like, because my problem having dry skin is dryness, so I feel like the moisturisation in this is really, really nice. I am interested to try this with more of a matte finish foundation. Similarly, I'm very excited to try this with more of a not mattifying, because I don't have mattifying primers, but just like over the top of my skincare, or on just like a different sort of primer, one that's not quite so hydrating. I feel like this will look really, really nice. It's a great colour for me, which is just perfect, obviously. I feel like that's a really, really nice one. Obviously I can't talk about how long it will last because I've only had this on my face for an hour, not even that, but I feel like it looks really, really nice. Everything's gone over the top of it really, really nicely. The setting spray, I don't recommend, unless you like your setting spray to wash over you like a tsunami, in which case you might enjoy it. But I mean, I feel like the actual spray, like the actual product is good, like the actual liquid is good. The spray, however, is awful. So make of that what you will. Let me know what you think down below. Let me know what you think of the final look. I will of course leave everything linked down below. If you are new here, I do these reviews throughout the month. Then at the end of the month, I come back and I tell you my final thoughts. So as I have more time to play with all these products, trying the primer with different foundations, trying the foundations with different primers, all things like that, I will report back at the end of the month as to what I think of everything. So if you want to see that, you can subscribe down below. Like I say, I'm getting very close to 1,000 followers and I will be doing a giveaway when I get there, so that's very exciting. But until next time, thank you ever so much for watching. Bye!